Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Let's Play Doom, my sort of joint game of the year for 2016 alongside Darkest Dungeon, because this is the power fantasy. It just has a super tight gameplay loop, is perfect game feel, and it is so laser focused on just making this feverishly paced, savage combat that you can just dive into for hours and be satisfied the whole way through. It puts on no airs about what it is. It knows why it's appealing, and they just drilled down and they played to its strengths all the way through.
They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear until it is done.
And there it is, right from the get-go, one of my favorite openings. It is just this set of badass lines, and it is the best tone setter that there has ever been. Like I said, Doom is the power fantasy. And they waste no time. Also, this depth of field is amazing. It is fabulous.
We have to contain this.
Oh, the lighting is gorgeous. And right away, the armor. So this is clearly building on something. I've heard this might be a sequel to Doom 64. It definitely seems like it has some place in the timeline other than just straight reboot. But I also don't really know that much about Doom and Doom's lore as a series. I'm happy to have the context of like a thin story, and by all means you can certainly dig in, and they do some admittedly pretty cool world building and character building, but that was never what I was here for.
Until the Resop satellite is brought back online.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I'm the head of this facility. I think we can work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
Yeah, here, Optimus Prime. So this is what happens when the UAC goes to Mars and opens a portal to hell, thinking, ha! You know, we could probably harness energy from that place. Also, what we're getting now is our introduction to the glory kills, not the gory kills. It is a system of special executions that give you extra ammo and health once you weaken an enemy, based on the executions in Brutal Doom, and that time to shotgun is so low. I love it. This is one of my favorite shotguns. And they give us an imp to test it out on right away. When I say this game is laser focused and it just drills down on that thing that it does so well, a lot of that comes down to a really satisfying gameplay loop, really good feeling, frenetic combat, and they give you the tools right away and the stage setter right away in this room full of imps, and just they let you know what this is gonna be like if you've never played Doom before. Just fast-paced, gory, violent, brutal, but fun as hell. And they give you so much new stuff so often, and so many new enemy types, and the context of different arenas changing up how you move around and how you are maneuvering that it just does not get old.
Lockdown disengaged.
I fucking love this game. Also, those green chips. They are armor. You can look at the bottom left.
He cannot be allowed to leave this place. He would ruin everything.
I'm willing to take full responsibility for the horrible events of the last 24 hours, but you must understand. Our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind. Everything has clearly gotten out of hand now, yes. But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
Just want to put on the Ron Howard voice and be like, it wasn't. And good shit. Just a red wasteland. Oh my god, yes. So before we go further, or I guess as we go further, before this game came out, the actual prospects, the hopes for this game were real low. I was not alone in worrying that this was not going to turn out to be a good... Oh, I'm polygoning a little bit. I was not alone in worrying that this would not turn out to be a good game. I was really, really concerned about this one. The beta impressions were bad. It was quite ugly, and it had this really intense, nasty yellow piss filter over everything. It was much slower than it is now. The glory kills were especially glacial. Like, these animations, they took ages relative to what you see now. And as a result, the pace of combat suffered. I believe the movement was much slower, which just means a lot less maneuverability as well, since so much of it is momentum-based. It was not looking good. There hadn't been a good Doom game in a long time, so the question was out there, you know, could they still make something memorable, make something satisfying? And then I think the final nail that gave people no confidence was when Bethesda announced that there was not going to be any review copies, or the embargo was going to be day one of those, because that's typically a really bad sign. It's a sign that the publisher is not confident whatsoever in their game. And when the publisher is not confident, they tend to push the embargo back to release day, so reviews can't go, this game's a bit shit, maybe consumers should not pick this up right away. They don't want to they don't want bad reviews interfering with day one sales. But wasn't the case here. It came out. They clearly applied a lot, adjusted the game a lot based on some of that really negative feedback. And it came out, and this was the final product. And it's fucking radical and metal and great. And it's super fun. Also, that's E1M1 from that secret that was playing. There are a bunch of those. We probably will not... I forgot grenades were in the game. We will probably not be finding all the secrets. In fact, I can guarantee that. Weapon upgrades, yes. Maybe not all of the weapon upgrades on screen, but I definitely want to show all of the different modules for the weapons off. In fact, we'll be getting the first one in this level. But, like, this game was not always destined to come out and be this big hit, this game that came out to resounding critical and fan acclaim. It was looking dicey for a long time, right up until release. Cannot say that I would be any happier with this game. Like, it's so good. This is the automap station. These tend to give you a better overview of the map. The blue is where you have been. The gray is where you still can explore. And there's an automap station in every level. These tokens here, these are Prater suit tokens. And they allow you to upgrade your suit and some of its functionality. Well, we still need another token in order to get the upgrade I wanted. So we'll see some of those later on. There's like environmental hazard protection, so you can mitigate the damage you take from explosive barrels in the environment. There's like grenade recharge time cooldown reductions, I should say. Those are not my favorite upgrades, though. The modules that you can upgrade your guns with, that's the good shit. Because they fundamentally change how the guns work, and there are a lot of them. So we're going to slip in here and just yank this lever. And that rift lets us know that we've opened up another secret to a classic map. And we also get weapon upgrade points from in here. There are a couple of possessed soldiers on the pillars around the room. Let's see if we can pop one, which is a fully charged pistol round. Nope. No. So we do have to burn more shotgun ammo. And the maximum ammo capacity, especially starting out for most weapons, is very low. And you will burn through ammo quickly. And that is by design. They want you switching guns super often, and you always have this infinite ammo pistol to fall back on if you really, really do a shitty job of conserving all of your ammo. It's there as a backup plan. But generally, you're going to get a huge arsenal of weapons. There's no, like, 2 weapon at a time limit or any of that bullshit. You have a large arsenal that expands rapidly throughout the course of the game. And given how fast-paced this tends to be, they really want you just unloading, switching weapons constantly. It's a really, really good gameplay loop. Alright, so we're going to jump this gap. If we went down, that would be where we found the secret before. This will be towards progress, and this very first combat support drone that we find out in the field offers our very first weapon mod. I can't select them? Oh, wait. Oh, I have to dismiss this first. Okay. So we're going to get the explosive shot module. We will eventually pick up enough of these modules and these weapon upgrade points to get everything. But for now, we have to choose between 2 different mods to install on the shotgun. One will allow us to charge up a burst of rounds. So we fire, I think, like 3 or 4 at a time. This one, though, we right-click, and it turns the shotgun into a grenade launcher. Also, you gotta love how many different glory kill animations there are. Depending on which part of the body you aim at when you initiate the glory kill, you'll get a different animation. Also, depending on like where enemies are in the environment sometimes, and whether or not you're in front or behind them. Like, I aimed at the leg there, and I was behind that dude, so I got the neck snap, where he kicks the knee out and then snaps his neck. It's like, Doom has always been about that. It's always been about, you know, hyper-violence and metal and that aesthetic. But also about being super, super satisfying. And not relying on cover so much as speed and maneuverability and trading and scouring for armor and health and ammo scouring for armor and health and ammo pickups. It just jibs them. Like, these slightly meatier enemies from the beginning of the game, the imps and the possessed soldiers, the explosive round for the shotgun will just jib the shit out of them. There's a slight cooldown, indicated by the despairing ring around the reticle. It's fast. It's really fast. You get so many of these. God, it's potent. It's just the basic primary fire, all the secondary fires. If y'all don't understand what I mean when I say game feel, and that this game has perfect game feel, there's a Tiny Voices episode I made on this subject, and it is just the juice. It's also a lot of what I mean when I say satisfying. Errant Signal once tried to coin the term kinesthetically pleasing, but it didn't really catch on. And it's just how actions in the game translate into an almost tactile sensation. How they convey that. The screen shake, the sounds, the animations, how enemies react themselves to getting hit. That conveys power and weight. Or fleet-footedness, agility. Kickback on the gun, stuff like that. Doom is such a goddamn masterclass in that. I was close enough to the explosion to take it too, but it killed the possessed soldier while he was climbing up. Very good. Doom is the goddamn best. Like, it really, really is. Just old school style run and gun shooter. And it was needed too. It was needed as an antidote to the more modern military style of shooter and to all of the cover-based shooters that had dominated so much of the mid-aughts and the 2010s. So by going old school and providing that antidote to kind of a style and a genre that had gotten kind of stale by that point, this old school mentality became fresh again. And again, by just doubling down and focusing on making something that doesn't really put on airs, but it's just good fun with a God, that's such a good animation! With such a tight gameplay loop, they really made something special. And they did it in a way that is deceptively simple. Which is not to say that this was an easy game to make, that anyone could do this, but its philosophy is pretty simple. And that's going to be it for the first level. I cannot wait to talk more about Doom, and especially its soundtrack.
Now 221 accident-free days.
Alright. Yeah, I have stories for days to tell about this soundtrack. We'll start talking about some of them next time. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.